My name is Thomas Bauerle, coming from Germany. I'm working there as a consultant. I have founded a consultancy company together with partners 18 years ago, and since that time we're deeply into the EFQM model, and even before we were working with the model in our phase at the university, doing some research on it. So quite some long experience with the model, and that's a bit about my history. Yeah, as I said, I'm using and supporting the model since a very long time now, and I still think that there's a place in this world for an excellence approach, giving guidance, supporting organizations, giving direction. But the problem or the challenge is, I think we have lost ground over the last 5 to 10 years. The acceptance went down, the image became worse. It's a bit, at least the image is that it is outdated or not sexy anymore. It's has quite a lot of complexity in it. So I think we need to do really a rework of the whole thing to get it back into the boardrooms. And what I learned in the core team yesterday was that even in other regions like the Emirates, the acceptance is going down. They're moving away from the EFQM model to a certain extent. So I am part of the team because I really want to get it back on track again. Let me put one thing before I come to the challenges. I think, and that's what I said in other words, EFQM has in its logo the two words leading excellence. And I think we need to get back to that level to really become a leading organization and have a leading model, a leading approach, a groundbreaking thing that goes back into the boardrooms and the decision rooms. Therefore, I think, my personal opinion, we need nothing less than a revolution in the whole thing. And that's leading then to your question on the challenges. I think we have two big blocks, two layers in that question. The first one is the question on what needs to be the content of such a leading model. There's a lot of good stuff in the existing model, but there are also some things that are even not in there at the moment, or where I think we need to extend that, we need to make it stronger. Let me just give you one or two examples. I think everybody is talking about digitization. That's a very obvious one, which also came out of the recently done survey, that this has to be integrated into a model, and I think that's not really questionable. That has to go into such an approach as it is changing our whole lives. The other one, for example, talking about the customer. Well, people knowing the model will tell, yeah, everything is in on the customer. Might be, but looking at how it is phrased, what the content is, that's not up to date anymore. When you look into organizations, they talk not about customer relations only, they talk about the whole customer experience. So it's really much more. It has evolved and developed over the last years. And I'm quite sure we need to update that. And the other thing which I see when I discuss that with organizations, and they ask how fast will we see a benefit out of it, and then it gets difficult because the world is moving quite fast. Leaders have to make decisions in very short time scales, and we tell them, well, you will see the benefit within 2-3 years maybe. That's not appropriate anymore. So we need to find a balance in the new approach that keeps into account that we need to develop in the midterm, that we need to be strategically right set up, but that also delivers a fast result. So that's also a question on the content, which I think we should discuss intensively. Well, that's the one side, the content question. The other side is the question on how do we get all the stakeholders on board. Personally, when I talk to people in that EFQM community, which I also belong to, of course, I have the feeling that there's kind of a resistance to change it, and even though the model requires change and review and everything, you hear very often, well, everything is in there, you just need to interpret things. So I can feel a resistance to change. I think we need to listen to all of those concerns. We have to take them serious, and wherever they come from, whether it's from the EFQM representatives, from the board, from the users, I think we have to take those concerns serious, but we need to make sure that they are not slowing down or even blocking the whole change process. So that's for me a key challenge to overcome the resistance in the community. Well, and then, of course, as in every change process, we need to involve them, we need to involve the people, we need to get them on that change journey, on that boat. This is quite important that we get the backing in the EFQM community.